Thanks for watching Digging Deep, where we're digging into a little bit of everything. Jack of all trades, master of none.
Thanks for watching Digging Deep. We're working on my little 50 today.
Thanks for tuning in. Today I got my 5-year-old son helping me out on some small engine repair. Basically this carburetor is clogged and gunked up and I can tell the way it's been running. So I'm going to get him involved in tearing this thing apart and trying to get it running good again. Thanks for watching and we're going to dive into it. Hey guys, thanks for tuning in here today. I got my little buddy here today and we're working on his Honda 50. It's a 1982 Z Honda 50 if I'm not mistaken. We bought this last year and it was not running and needed a lot of work. If I can find any pictures, I'll post them in this video, but I'm not 100% on that. But today it's not running like it should, so we're going to pull the carburetor off. We're going to check the jetting, check the spark plug, and we have a new sprocket we're going to be throwing on. So I've been wanting to teach my son how to kind of work on engines, and I'm no master myself. I'm just a tinkerer. That's my motto, right? But we're going to tear this thing apart, tear the carburetor off, see if we can get it running a little better, and we're going to throw on a fuel filter. But let's dive into it. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to turn the gas off, right, buddy? Go ahead and turn the gas off. Good job. Let me double check. Yep, and it's on off. So we had it running pretty good, and I still think the jetting needs tinkered with a little bit, but it's definitely got something going on here because it's not running good at all. So we're gonna get this carburetor off, right, bud?
Yep.
Okay, we got him on the first bolt here. Go ahead, buddy. You want to go lefty-loosey, so we're going up, right? Yep, up and then back down. See, up and back down. So it's already loose enough. I think I can get my finger on there. Pull your ratchet off there. There you go. So we can pretty much just go ahead and keep going with your hand and unscrew it like Daddy just was. There you go. Now we put our bolt down here and we don't want to lose it. Take it and set it in the little the socket area there. There you go. That way if we knock into it, it won't fall on the floor. Let's get the other one off. All right. Go ahead and pull that up. There you go. Ratchet it back down. Good. Now keep doing that. What I like to do is you just take your extension and you get in there and you kind of just use that to turn it. Okay? See how Daddy's doing that?
Yep.
And this thing is going to come off very soon. Still got our fuel line connected here and our throttle cable. All right, Junior, what are we taking off now?
The fuel line
and the throttle cable, right?
Yep.
Okay, so our fuel line, which is a little bit hardened, and your ethanol gas will destroy carburetors and fuel lines, especially on your smaller engines. But you're gonna, a lot of times, these you can get by hand, but I don't think I'm going to be able to get that one by hand. We might have to get a pair of pliers on that. Let's get a pair of pliers out, buddy. So he just asked, what is the fuel line? The fuel line is what?
The thing that comes out of the engine.
Well, it goes into the engine, into the carburetor, into the combustion chamber, which causes combustion and makes the cylinder stroke up and down as it explodes in the cylinder. So the fuel line is what feeds gas from the gas tank to the carburetor, right?
Yep.
All right, we're going to get in here and remove the fuel line. And this thing is hardened a little bit, so I am probably going to have to do this off camera. So he's going to try for his first time to remove a throttle cable from the carburetor housing, and you want to turn up. You're going tight. You lefty loosey, righty tighty. There you go. Keep spinning it the same way Daddy did. Good job. Keep spinning it. There you go. Spin her around, spin her around. There you go. All right, you're getting her, dude. Now it'll slide up out of there. Pull that up out of the top there. Just pull that up out of the top. Hey, you got her. Never force anything. Good job, buddy. All right, now push that back there behind the carburetor. Awesome, dude. All right, now we got to remove the fuel line.
Got the carburetor moved, and now that we're gonna tear it apart.
All right, get her down on the bench here. All right. All right, buddy. There's your screwdriver. So we're about to take the bowl off the carburetor, and we put a fresh plug in this upon rejetting it the last time. So we're going to pull the plug after we get this carburetor apart and see if we were running rich or lean. Go ahead, buddy. Here, get your other hand down here closer on the shaft, and then you can just keep spinning it. There you go. So I helped him out with loosening those up a little bit. That's good. That's good. Well, you can keep going. You can keep going if you want. I was going to tell you to do it by hand. Good job. All right, he's down to the last bolt there. Use both hands, buddy, if you can. Yep, gives you more control. So yeah, we should be good there. Let's look into the bowl here. The bowl, yeah, see, that's probably why we got an issue there. If you can look closely, there's all kinds of film and stuff on the bottom of the carb already. And this is like a brand new carb. It's only a year old. So this shows you how bad this ethanol is for these small engines, right, Junior? Yep. So more than likely, we just got a clogged jet, and we just need to pull the jets and clean them out, and this puppy should run good. And clean the carburetor and all your ports out, right? But this is a brand new carb, so the gaskets and everything still should have some life left in them, but the ethanol is such a killer to carburetors. Okay, we're gonna pull the plug out of here and see if we were running rich or lean upon switching our jetting out from the last time. So he's taking the spark plug off right now. Try and use both hands, buddy. Kind of use one hand to hold it onto it, and that'll keep you from stripping it and allowing the socket to come off there and round it off. There you go. Yep. Now you can probably take your socket off there and just twist it out with your spark plug. That's all right. Set that down and then just pull that out. Or you could even use this to spin it. Okay. Now spinner. There you go. Lefty loosey, righty tighty. And we're gonna see what color the spark plug is to determine how rich and how lean. All right, just bring it clean on around here, dude. It's a little tight back there, and I'm gonna get you around here where we can see. All right, bud. So he's got the carb out, and it appears that we're running a little rich. See if I can get the light on there better, which is not too bad. It's not like caked, but what we want is like a coffee brown look. It's probably about the perfect tune. But we're not going to change the jetting out probably. We'll see. We might bump her back down. But it was running pretty good the last time until we got something sucked into the carburetor. So that's why we're going to put the fuel filter on there, right, buddy? We're going to filter out anything that's coming from these metal gas tanks too, because condensation will build up in there and then end up running through your into your carb and clogging it up. So fuel filter is going to help that out, right, buddy?
Yep.
All right. So we're getting into the main jet here, and the smaller one's going to be the pilot jet. Hopefully you can see that. Get your other hand down there a little closer to get you control on the end of the screwdriver. Yep, and lefty loosey. You don't want to stab that screwdriver too hard into that carb. All right, now you can set your screwdriver down, and now just use your hand to get that main jet out of there. Real intricate stuff here, huh, buddy? You got to be careful and take your time. Patience, right? All right, throw it in Dad's hand. We have the main jet, and this one was a 72. So in theory, we could probably lean it back out a little more because that spark plug was a little black. But I'm one to always run a little bit on the rich side and be safe. So we'll see. So we got the high speed and low speed jets out, and I don't have carb cleaner. I have some stuff back here, starting fluid and stuff, but we don't have carb cleaner. What I've done before is use compressed air. So we're going to save you guys the loud and annoying sound, and we're going to blow these jets out in all the ports with compressed air. Not real high. I might hit it with like maybe 40 or 50 psi, and just give it quick little burst to make sure everything is cleared, and then we'll clean this thing up and get it back together. But we're going to spare you the annoying loud sound of firing up our compressor. So when you know it's not really dirty, which this wasn't, I think it was just so happened to get a little piece. When you don't want to remove the bowl, I tell you, Q-tips are good for cleaning stuff up, and you can get down into the crevices and stuff. And I just didn't want to get into tearing the bowl and stuff off if I didn't have to. And that's not a hard task. You just remove that pin, and you know, float height is a big thing, but this is already set pretty good, so I didn't want to take it off. And basically, you know, if you want to do a quick clean, and this carb is definitely not very old, Q-tips work great for getting into nooks and crannies. But we're about ready to put this all back together. It wasn't really dirty. It did appear that the low-speed jet was a little clogged up, which would make sense on how it was running. But we're gonna just make sure everything is cleaned up good. I hit it with compressed air. You do have to watch when using carburetor cleaner, because I've had it shoot back into my eye, and that is not a fun time, right, buddy?
Yeah.
So you're gonna assemble this carburetor, right?
Yeah.
All right, dude, let's get into it. So we have our jets put back in there. We're about ready to put the bowl on. We're gonna let our little buddy do that. Since these were so intricate and I didn't have the proper size screwdriver, which is inside the tool container, which we had the bike on, we didn't think our way through that. But I did help him put the jets on. Uh-oh. Sorry about that. So yeah, I did help him put the jets in. Didn't have the proper size screwdriver available to do that, so we used the pocket knife, and I didn't want him doing that. So he's going to put the bowl back on this carb, and we're going to be working with getting this fuel filter and carburetor put on, and then next will be the sprocket, right, bud?
Yep.
All right, he's going to put the bowl with the carburetor back on there. Hey, good job. Now pick up your bolts, and you're going to insert them into the hole and spin them the opposite way, righty-tighty, right? Tedious stuff. He's got her. So I'm gonna help my little buddy get this on, but shine your light up here, bud. So if you look very closely, when you insert the throttle body back in here, the throttle cable, there's a little notch, and that notch has to be in the groove properly in this carburetor down here, or it will not function properly. So that's one thing you got to make sure. It may even go in there and start to screw on, but you got to make sure it's free and goes up and down and is in that notch properly. Okay, tell them what this is.
It's a filter. It goes out and into the filter in the engine.
That's right. So if you look closely, about all the filters have an arrow on them, so you want to have it's a directional basis flow, so you want to make sure you have that right. But we're going to get this fuel filter up in there, and now we'll be able to make sure we're ensuring that the fuel feed is being filtered. Okay, he's gonna put the fuel line on. We've got it on the carb already. Yeah, there you go, dude. Push it on there. Good. Good job, bud. He's got her on there. So now we're ready to bolt this carburetor up. Okay, getting the finishing touches here on Junior putting in the carb. Make sure that's straight. You don't want to round it off. There you go. Oh, what are we doing? We're loosening it. So righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. Now give it a shot. Now give it a shot this way. There you go. Hold on. And let me get in there with my hand. It's still a little loose yet. Sometimes that'll fight you until you get it tight enough. Give it another shot there, bud. Getting the finishing touches here. Yeah, go down. Oh, we did have it almost. We had it right. Just wasn't. There you go. Get your other hand and hold it in there. There you go. Good job, buddy.
It's really tight.
All right. You think you got enough muscle on that?
Yep.
17 foot-pounds. I'm kidding. I don't know what the specs are, but it's an O-ring. You just want to give that O-ring a smash, and don't over tighten it, just enough. You snug it up good and make sure you're sealing. That's all you got to do, right, buddy?
Yep. This way. This way.
Other way. Righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. So we had trouble starting that, and that means the threads were probably crossing. You don't ever want to force it. It should go in perfectly easily by hand. You don't want to force it on, or you're going to cross thread stuff. Did you get it pretty tight? I keep going a little bit further there. So we're going to torque this down, get our cap on there, and the plug will be back in. So we have the carburetor back on, other than what, our fuel being turned on, which we'll do that in a bit. And now we're going to put on our 13 tooth sprocket. We think that the stock is 14. This is a perishable skill if you're not up on it. So I've ordered these parts a long time ago, so I could be wrong, but this here is a 13. So that's going to give him a little bit more lower end torque to help him get up the hills and stuff and do wheelies, right?
Yeah.
Okay, you got to make sure it's in there all the way or you'll strip it out. Now pull the trigger when you're ready. Oh yeah. Okay, you got her that quick. I highly suggest you just use a screwdriver when putting them back in. Anytime you're working on engines, impact could be a bad idea, but we're kind of cheating a little bit here.
Take that thing off.
Yes, we are. So this might be where you get a little greasy. This chain needs replaced too. I do have a replacement chain, but today I think we're just going to slap the sprocket on and see how this thing's running. So go ahead and take that shroud off. All right, he's ready to remove the sprocket. Get her on there. Take your time. And hit it. Hit it. Pull the trigger. Look at that. All right, that's good. That's good. Perfect. All right, Junior, tell him what happened. Say, we got the wrong sprocket, didn't we?
Yep.
So between us and our other dirt bikes and the various parts I had, I might have ordered this sprocket for the pit bike. It's a very good possibility. And like I say, it's been a while. So we put that back on there. Make sure you use a little thread locker with those 2 bolts. Now let's get this cover back on, right, dude? We're going to clean this off real quick. I forgot about that. Let's get that all cleaned out before we get that back on. All right, so we have everything back together, right, dude? I think my little buddy's about ready for a nap, but he hung in there with me the whole time. We're gonna get a new sprocket for this thing and probably drop down to a 12 tooth. I think a 13 is the stock one. Correct me if I'm wrong, but we're gonna get this thing down off here, turn some fuel on, and see what happens here. All right, everybody, this is the moment of truth here. We're gonna crack the basement door and make sure it starts. Oh, look at that, dude. All right. Oh, man. Good throttle response. So the only thing left to do is to take this puppy for a test run. All right. Okay, we got a little bit of snow and sleet and rain all at once today, so it's going to be a little slick out in the yard. I don't know if Junior, are you going to ride this thing or what?
I don't think I can ride it today.
He's a little sketched out, so we're going to see how it runs. He's excited if you can't hear him behind us. So, seems to have a good throttle response, so let's give this thing a test run. Still bogging out just a little bit. We're running on choke right now. not warmed up yet. Boy, it is definitely slick out here. Definitely a little slick. I don't know how good of an idea it is for you to ride it, buddy, because it's really slick out. Seems to be running a lot better than what it is, what it was. We may need to swap the jet out and make it run a little bit leaner. But other than that, it's definitely running better. But we're still running on a cold engine, and it's still running on choke. All right, it's starting to get warmed up now. I'm gonna take her for another little run around the yard. I know he's dying to ride this thing. He just don't have the confidence in this wet terrain. It's very slick. The only way to learn though is to get out and ride this stuff, but I'm not going to push him. And then if he wrecks, it might be a while before he wants to get back on it then. So I sit here and say I'm not going to push him, but we all know that's not the case. Yeah, before it wasn't even really rideable at all. It was just bogging out big time and would not idle. This is a bike I kind of want to keep in the family for him. So I may get him another bike because we don't want to beat this thing up. Of course, we know the value of these things are up and they're worth some money. I keep telling him that. So it's not something we want to abuse too much, but we definitely want to ride it though. All right, let's take a shot at it. Woohoo! Oh yeah, it's nice and muddy. I don't think we're going to go over any of that. So this thing's running a little rich yet, I do believe. So I should have probably bumped the jet down a little bit, but we'll take a little road rip and guess put this thing away. It's too wet for him to ride. But thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more videos to come. You know, I like him getting his hands on things and working on stuff. You know, it's always good to learn at a younger age, I believe. So, but I don't recommend anybody riding on the road either. That's probably not a good thing. And we can take this choke all the way off now. There we go. That's what it was. He's ready to go now. But yeah, so don't ride on the road. It's not a good idea, but I wanted to see how it was running out here. But again, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time on whatever adventure we get into here next. But we definitely want to get the pit bike out some and get that running a little better too, because that carburetor, it seems to be bogging out on us a little bit too, running it here in the wintertime. The summertime tune is pretty good, so it might be running a little rich on us yet too on that carb. So we're going to tinker with that thing here soon as well. But again, thanks for watching Digging Deep, and we'll catch you next time.